Get this show on the road. Sponsored by The Beast Unleashed, Monster's new alcoholic seltzer.
I have something in.
A twinkle? A twinkle in your eye?
A twinkle in my eye when you mentioned the alcoholic monster. You got the alcoholic monster?
Yeah, baby. It's The Beast Unleashed. This is the zero sugar one. It's the white flavored zero sugar monster. Yeah, it's good. Because it tastes like white flavored zero sugar monster, except instead of energy drink, there's alcohol.
How does it compare to Four Loko in terms of
Four Locos,
ruining your day?
Well, you see how Four Locos is both alcohol and energy, right?
Yeah.
This is not that. They took all the energy stuff out of it, so it's just a seltzer.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I didn't.
Yep. I had a variety pack, so the green one tastes exactly like Green Monster, which is crazy.
I hate Green Monster.
I like Green Monster because I worked in the kitchen for 10 years.
Yeah. You know what?
Woo!
They all got the monsters.
We needed to survive back there.
Pour it on the pizza.
I pour it straight into my veins. I told friend of the channel and Phazon gaming partner Kazooie about these, and he was instantly jealous and wanted one. I think he went and bought a pack.
I will have to go to his house and confirm this. Mm-hmm. What's it called again, Joe? What's the product name?
Unleash the Beast.
Unleash the Beast, you say, by Monster?
Well, it's the Beast Unleashed. I'm saying you should unleash the beast. Get it in here today.
What are we talking about on today's podcast, Joe? Other than the Beast.
Besides the Beast. Well, I went and saw Ant Man Quantumania. We can talk about that. We also got to talk about The Last of Us because that's our channel now.
It is such a good show and worth talking about every week.
Such a good show worth talking about every week.
But let's dip our toes into the into the quantum realm.
The quantum realm.
Do a little piggy dipping.
Yeah. So it starts off with our guy Paul Rudd walking down the street, talking about how his life is great and he's happy. And everybody's like, "Oh, it's Ant Man." And instead of taking pictures of kids, he takes pictures with dogs. That's the bit. He wrote his own book. And he's living a good life. Janet's a superhero and also is saving the world with Pym Industries, and that's pretty much all that's all they state about her. She gets to do a lot in the movie, but she doesn't get to act or say a lot in the movie. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And that kind of sucks. I mean, not Janet. Hope. Sorry, Hope.
Yeah.
Not Janet, on the other hand.
The Wasp.
Janet, the mom, the original Wasp, does a lot in this movie because she knows about the world that they're going into. But no, it's about Ant-Man saying things are great and we got to stick up for the little guy, even though he stopped being an active superhero a long time ago and just writes books and does a podcast. He then gets a call because his daughter, who's the actress has been replaced, is now in jail because she was stopping some corrupt cops.
Catherine Newton from Big Little Lies.
And she is, stick up for the little guy. And sometimes that means, shrinking a cop car and handing it back later because they were evacuating a homeless camp in the middle of the night.
Do you ever still mourn Edgar Wright's Ant-Man?
No, I don't. And here's why. We never got to see it. We don't know if it was going to be good. Once again, friend of the channel and Phazon gaming partner Kazooie won't shut the fuck up about it whenever you bring up Ant-Man. And I'm just like, dude, it didn't happen. We never got to see it. I can't mourn for a thing I never had.
That's why Kevin and I are friends. Because I also won't shut the fuck up about it.
Because you're sad and pretentious about weird stuff?
Well,
yeah, I agree.
Well, let me ask you. You don't know that it was going to be good, but which Edgar Wright movie is bad?
Which Edgar Wright movie is good enough that you wanted him to do a superhero Ant-Man movie?
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Baby Driver, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz.
If it was shot like that, that would have been cool. But then we wouldn't have gotten one of my favorite side characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe who didn't get to show up in this, unfortunately.
I heard he wasn't in this. What's his name?
We are... I forget
What's
his name. I forget his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The guy who tells the stories is the best part.
I was talking like this, and he just did a whole bit. That was great. Funny bit. wouldn't have got that bit. That bit wouldn't have existed in an Edgar Wright movie.
I disagree. I think that was I mean, maybe that was added later, but that was a very Edgar Wright
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm.
I would not be
I
surprised if that was in the first draft.
I think Edgar Wright at the time, and here's my thing on this, is that Edgar Wright would have been a weird choice because Marvel was still, and here's the thing that gets me now that we're doing weird stuff, that Marvel was still very much in its this is a Marvel movie thing. This is what we do for a Marvel movie to set it up. He would have done a little bit too weird stuff. And now that we're doing weird stuff, people are complaining about it. It's great. I like how people are just not happy.
Well, now they're giving people who are accomplished directors like Chloe Zhao and Ryan Coogler their shot at doing these movies sort of in more of their own way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's working pretty. I mean, people weren't that crazy on the Eternals, but I thought it was nice looking at least.
People are absolutely still mad about Thor: Love and Thunder, which I think is still like a decent movie.
It's okay.
Yeah. I like the use of color in a lot of it. I liked how weird it was because that's how they kind of it was just really comic booky. And I think they're just trying to be really comic booky to the point where that way preteens and young kids and adults can all enjoy it. So they're testing waters while still trying to hit a broader audience. And I think that's what happens in Ant Man Quantumania. Because we focus on the family in this, which is kind of nice. How everyone else is there, but it's mostly about, Paul Rudd and his daughter, Ant-Man and his daughter, coming to terms with he was her hero, but he's not doing anything anymore. And she wants to believe in him, but he's, he only cares about himself and his family. He's a semi-retired hero at this point. And she wants him to keep being a hero because that's what being a hero is about. Go for it.
You a little while ago you mentioned it being comic booky, which is sort of a funny thing to me because there are complaints recently about it sort of being this washed out color fest in the backgrounds of most of the movies, basically since Guardians of the Galaxy, which I see the point. I see that point, and I do think that was a little bit of the problem. It's hard to focus on anything in particular in certain scenes in Multiverse of Madness, but I also think that it is pretty accurately comic booky.
It's becoming more and more comic booky, and I think people are like, oh, why are we not staying on Earth and making it more semi-realistic with only hints of fantasy? Because we did that and that's over, and now the only thing left to explore is the vast, more comically wild shit. That's what we have now.
And I think that kind of maximalist background scenery and stuff, especially when we were kids. I don't know, in the 2000s, I feel like comic books went hard on that.
Yeah.
In general, I remember it looks like a comic book that I would have read when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
A lot personally
for me, all these big, wild, colorful shots, or sometimes just lack of color shots, just all these just wild set pieces, those are amazing to me. And it makes me want to go back and see stills and just kind of I want to kind of get lost in the world. That helps you get lost in the world. In this fucking one, there are buildings that are alive and carry people and do things, and they just have a whole cascade of weird characters that don't really, in a traditional sense, it's hard to fathom why they exist and what they're doing or how they function, right?
Yeah.
One character is literally kind of just a jar on a robot body that has glowing light, and he uses the lens from the jar to shoot out a giant laser beam. That's the character. That's what he does. There's another little Jello Man
the Jello Man. I wanted to ask you about the Jello Man, because I'm a big fan of David Dasmalkian.
Okay.
I follow him on Instagram. He's one of the few celebrities that I do follow.
Okay.
I don't know if you know, he was Polka Dot Man in the newer Suicide Squad. He was in Prisoners, which is an excellent movie.
I know that man now.
He was
in
that man now. Some other project.
Wasn't
he's
he
in a bunch of different comic book
TV
stuff.
show too?
What?
Numbers, was that the old show?
I don't know. I don't know if he was, but
Okay.
he's in some great stuff, and he's a total nerd. He's written comics and stuff. But he plays that Jello blob, I believe. I
Oh,
saw on his Instagram that he was at the premiere, and he had a picture of him next to some sort of blob, and I was like,
oh,
David
okay.
Desmalkian is
Yeah,
David Desmalkian is in this shit.
yeah.
I couldn't
He,
get that sentence out. I was like, David Desmalkian, no man, and it just
he,
got lost.
he is a dude who who makes you drink him, and when you drink little bits of him, you can understand everybody's language around you. That
So you're
becomes a plot
saying
point.
he's basically like the Kuzbanian Spooble.
Yes, except he asks you about your holes. One of his lines is like, "How many holes do you have?" Sorry, is that a rude thing to ask? How many holes you have? And then another dude comes by and he's like, "He has 7 holes." And then Paul Rudd like looks up and he's like, "Yes, no, 7. 7's the correct number. You're counting right now.
Wait. 1, 2,
Those aren't holes; they're filled.
6, 7,
Your eye holes aren't holes; they're filled."
9. Oh, okay. You're not counting eyes. I feel like you could get something right in there.
No,
There's a hole. There's a hole there. It
no.
goes all the way
And if we
back.
want to talk about holes, technically you have holes all about your body. You perspire from somewhere. But yeah.
And then the other creature that I wanted to ask about, not I guess really as much of a creature, is MODOK.
MODOK. Yes, they did a choice with MODOK because I knew MODOK was going to be in the film. I did not know who they casted or what they were going to do, and I'm like, there's 2 ways they're going to do MODOK, right? They're going to either, make him just some weird thing like a robot or something. Or maybe they've gone so far into the weird, we can literally have just a big head with tiny arms and legs.
And they did, didn't they?
Eric, we got a big head with tiny arms and tiny legs. And
Yeah.
kudos to them who they made it. MODOK in the comics and the show was like created, right? Like in the movies and all that stuff, he was a created being or whatever. Maybe sometimes he has a past. In this one, they made him Hornet.
Hornet?
Darren from the first movie.
Darren?
Yeah, the villain from the first movie.
He's
The
MODOK?
Hornet? Yeah, so they that scene they showed where he was shrinking? At the end of Ant Man, they have a scene where he's shrinking. His head is the last thing to be shrunk. So when he does land in the quantum realm, because that's where he goes, big head, tiny arms, little legs. He's MODOK.
What the fuck?
And the whole bit is like they show him off, like just coming in, killing a shit ton of people and wrecking havoc. And then like he reveals his face and he's just like, I knew you wouldn't see me again, did you? It is I, MODOK. And he's just like, Darren? Is that you? Oh my God, what happened to you? And that's everybody. Like he shows up and he sees Hope. He's like, hello, Hope. Oh my God, Darren, is that you? What happened? Like every time he goes into his big monologue, it's just like, oh God, Darren?
It sounds like you enjoyed your time with Ant Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which is interesting.
It's a fucking Ant Man movie. It's not supposed to be like everyone's like, oh, it's a Marvel movie. He says, but like Ant Man has always been kind of a big story involving a dude who doesn't want to be big and just kind of wants to live his life and, hang out with his family. And that's what this was. There was a lot of I think the thing I liked about the movie the most was the whole family superhero aspect. Because I want that in a Batman movie, and I'm getting it in this, so I'm going to just take whatever I can.
I thought you were going to say you wanted it in a Fantastic Four movie, because that's what I was thinking.
No, I don't. I don't like the Fantastic Four. I'm going to say that right now. I respect them and everything they do, but the only 2 good characters in that fucking team are the Thing and sometimes Johnny Blaze.
That's
Johnny, not Johnny Blaze. Whatever. That's that. Johnny Blaze is Ghost Rider. This is Johnny Storm. About. Johnny Storm is, anyway, because Reed Richards is a dick in most comics, in all comics, because he's too scientific, and Sue Storm is just not to be trusted. I don't trust Sue Storm.
To be fair, I never read much Fantastic Four as a kid.
Okay.
Anytime that I did, I got a little bored. and I didn't like the movie, so
Surprise.
I can't really defend that.
The thing is, I
Choice.
like the movies. The movies were like the most redeeming.
What?
The first two
What?
movies, the first two Fantastic Four movies,
What?
are the most redeeming versions of those characters.
Listen, the Silver
'Cause
Surfer was cool, but like,
you didn't like the first
like
one? The
no.
first one, for its time, you had fuckboy Johnny Storm, played by future Captain America. You had The Thing, who did an incredible performance. Fuck you. You can't tell me The Thing wasn't good. That man had to act in all of that physical suit. That wasn't CGI at all.
It's true.
That was, and he did a good job. He did a good job. And then, Reed Richards and Sue Storm or whatever. But you know what?
I saw that
They were
movie in
fun.
theaters and I hated it.
Mm.
I hated it.
I want to go back to MODOK real quick. Because
Okay.
his character arc in it is like, he's like, I'm MODOK now. And the whole thing about MODOK being cool whatsoever, they just cut out of that movie. They literally were like, as he begins to explain what he is, Ant-Man's like, oh, it's an acronym. Oh, it's an acronym. Mechanized organism designed only for killing. Shouldn't that be MODOK? It's a complete undercut of everything that is cool about MODOK. Because he gets shit on by them because they're like, oh, God, Darren, what happened to you? Kang, the Conqueror, just fucking shits on him, even though he works for Kang. And the whole ending half hour of the movie, MODOK chases after Ant-Man's daughter to try and fuck with her because she's slowly learning how to be a hero. And eventually she grows, smacks him into the ground, and as she leaves to go do other things, he's like, wait, come back, you're not done. And she's like, oh my God, Darren, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? Why are you being like this? He's like, it's all I have now, because he's just a giant head. Because, by the way, it is that actor's just giant head.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it.
It's like, it's all I have now. He's like, you got to stop it, man. You don't have to be this. He's like, tell me what I'm supposed to be. I don't know what I'm supposed to be.
That's sad.
He's like, I don't know, just don't be a dick. But I'm a dick.
Does he die?
Yeah, he does die. But the whole thing is, don't be a dick. But I am a dick. I don't know how to be anything else. And then, spoiler alert, I want you to understand that this sentence I'm going to say, this whole next set of paragraphs, is true.
Paragraphs?
As Kang the Conqueror is holding a shield up to defend against the giant ant robot army, who has had several different centuries to form their own very socialist community, all mechanized go forward as Scott Lang is just, sorry, there was a lot of ants. And they start trying to tear through his big shield. They're about to get through, and he's pushing him back. You see MODOK come. He's like, my name is Darren, and I'm not a dick. And he crashes into him, lets the barrier thing. The ants get to fucking beat the shit out of Kang. And as Darren lays back there, everyone gets to see him and do the whole, like, oh my God, Darren, what happened to you bit? And then he's like, Scott, I always thought of you as a brother. And he's just like, yes, sure. Like, he's just giving it to him. He's like, at least I got to die knowing I'm an Avenger. And he's like, you definitely are.
That's sad.
Yeah, no, like because he's like,
That's
we're gonna give it to him, and then he dies.
They did MODOK dirty, man.
They did, but you know what? Considering that no one would listen, the very small percentage of people that was gonna be happy that he was a giant head, me, and you, wouldn't people would still bitch about it. So yeah. Let MODOK, this be the version of MODOK we get. He gets his moment. He gets to look really cool, and his weapons are awesome. But then he gets to die.
Fine.
They do a thing enough. I thought at the end of the movie, they make the portal back home, and they're all leaving. Kang jumps out of nowhere, and it's Ant-Man fighting against Kang, and Ant-Man's just like, I don't have to win, I just have to stop you. And I thought that they were going to get rid of Ant-Man. For a brief minute, I'm like, oh, is this it? Are we done with Ant-Man? Are we moving on to the next chapter by having him be stuck in the quantum realm?
Ant-Man's all they got now, baby.
Then Hope comes in, and Hope helps hold him off, and then they throw him in a battery and get rid of him, and then the portal closes. And it's just Hope and Ant-Man, is she okay? Yeah, no, she went back in there. And she's like, you came back for me, I have you. And it's just them in the quantum realm, and I'm like, oh, do this. Have them stuck in it sucks, but have them stuck in the quantum realm. But now they opened the portal immediately, and they went back home. And
of course they do. That's all they got.
It was a happy ending, and Ant-Man was like, and we saved the world. Although Kang said that the future is worse and that he was the only way to stop it.
You,
So that means more bad things are happening. And then they did Spy Kids 3, where they
it
had
all looked like Spy Kids 3.
no, where they literally had Kang talk to different versions of Kang. There was 3 different Kangs with 3 different accents talking to each other about getting the Council of Kangs together. And I'm like, this is gonna be wild. I'm excited.
The Council of Kangs.
The Council of
You know what I
Kangs.
started playing just today and am already addicted to? Marvel Snap.
You know me, Eric. I play Marvel Snap every day.
Whoa, it's me in there.
Day. It's you. It's always been you.
Hello. Oh, hello, handsome. Um, I I just got hooked, man. I got real hooked. You
It's a
mentioned
good card game, man.
a few episodes ago, and it's a lot of fun. Can't stop playing.
Really just listen to all of my recommendations at this point.
Play it.
I don't think I stirred you wrong.
As soon as we finish making these videos tonight, I'm gonna play it some more.
Yeah. I got my weeklies in. I'm good. I'm ready.
So what would you give final Ant-Man score out of
in the
5?
grand scheme of things, out of 5, it's a 3.5. It's not
3.5.
It's not really good, but you know what? If it's on TV, I'll stop and watch the bits that are on TV. It's a full sci-fi movie. Like it's a full like old school like 80s 90s sci-fi movie where you go to a weird world and that's part of it. Even like, just talking to weird locals, blah 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 blah. Scott Lang, like I said, he really does a lot in this movie, and I appreciate the fuck out of him.
3.5 is high. Fuck. Yeah, it's higher than most.
I mean, people just either hate rate or they positive rate. They don't fucking rate for rate, I feel.
Yeah, the rage is real about this movie, though. Everybody's chiming in. I have not seen it. Don't know if I will.
Listen, you either want it to be in the Marvel formula or you don't want it to be in the Marvel formula. You're like, oh, there's the comedy is stupid. This is the same comedy we've had the entire time. I don't know what to tell you.
I think people are just getting fatigued in general, maybe, but who cares? Never mind.
What? No, go for it. Tell me.
I was thinking about. I caught a glimpse of myself in the phone there and started thinking about myself, and I'm a little bit mad that nobody ever compares you to anybody. What
do you mean?
Because in the comments, let me tell you, I've gotten that guy who, the guy who did that Bitcoin scheme where they had the Super Bowl ad, and he stole a bunch of people's Bitcoin basically, and now he's in jail. I've gotten that guy. People have said that I look like Dream without his mask on, which that one makes me a little mad.
That doesn't make sense. You don't look like Dream without his mask on.
I guess I feel like...
Is it just because you're white and you have brown hair?
It's because I'm white and I have a jaw.
Okay.
There was a guy who I think bombed a school or something, and then I looked it up, and I wish that they were more wrong about that.
I have never been like, people don't compare me to anybody because
I know
I'm incomparable.
I know it makes me. I get some guy. I went to cross the street and a guy drove in front of me and he yelled out the window, "Jack Harlow looking motherfucker."
No. Yeah, no one has. I mean, first off, it's hard. I'm half Filipino, half white. There's not a lot of us around. Not a lot of us to, I mean, second, I look like pretty much only me. I think I look different without glasses than I do with glasses. I think there's a hard distinction, like me, but also me.
You look a little more turtley without your glasses.
Turtley?
Yeah, a little more turtley.
Are we gonna do a Master of Disguise bit in fucking 2023?
Did you know? Well, actually, I probably already told you that.
What this is?
Nobody is ever impressed with that fact about Master of Disguise. I know we got like 5 minutes.
24 minutes.
we
talked about Ant-Man, but we need to talk about the best show on the fucking blog right now.
The Last of Us took us to the snow. Some beautiful snow settings.
Mm-hmm. That opening scene was great.
What was the opening scene? I don't remember.
It was with the old couple.
Oh yes,
in
yeah.
The lodge. Like, You fed them soup? They looked hungry.
The way,
Like, it was just I'm old. I don't give a fuck. You're old. You don't give a fuck. This is where we are right now in our
yeah,
lives.
the way that situation kind of diffused itself was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Mhm.
I don't I don't remember. That was, I mean, that was much more in depth in the game. Tommy is not going to be a father in the game, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Okay,
Tommy's a
he
dad
is.
in the game. Yeah,
Okay,
he's a dad
I
in part
couldn't
two.
remember.
Mhm.
But they stayed a long time. Everything that happens in this show is just making worse the things that I know are going to happen eventually.
We saw the. I I was like, oh, it's the dam. We're not doing the dam. It looks like we're just gonna go straight to. Okay, that's fine. We don't need to do the dam. Let's get straight to the emotional stuff. I'm okay with that.
What happened at the dam in the game? I don't remember.
Ellie and oh, I forgot Tommy's wife's name. Oh no. They get.
Marla?
I think so. They get like they're at the end of the dam, and Joel and Tommy have to get to the end of the dam by fighting a bunch of bandits.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
yeah.
Those little like video game style obstacles have been altered for sure. In a lot of
But
the
it was there.
places.
They did like show, hey, it's the dam. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we got to the university, which was another moment that filled me with dread.
I want to talk about. I'm sorry, we have to talk about the town because we didn't get to.
It was nice.
It was the fucking town. It was like like it's like this is part two. This is the town from part two. This is it fully. Holy shit, this is great. Oh god. Tommy and Joel fucking killed me in this episode.
That conversation they have about Ellie.
In the oh my god, like where he's like, in my dreams I lose in my dreams, and I'm like, fuck, dude, stop, please. You're hurting me here. You're hurting me. Also cameo by Dina. That was cool. That was neat. Dina. Yeah. Ellie's love interest in part two.
Oh, that's okay. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, because like
he looks a lot like her.
Well, in part two, Dina was like, I remember when you first got to the town.
Yes.
I was looking at you, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, there it is. They did the thing. I see you. That's fucking cool. She was just right there looking from behind a pillar.
I thought I was crazy. I was like, that looks a lot like the girl from the second one.
Nah, they did that on purpose. They did that on purpose.
Cool.
They had
that's
to.
Cool. Yeah.
I had been waiting to see that scene between Ellie and Joel for a while because I knew they were going to keep it, right? Everybody leaves except for fucking you, and I'm not your daughter, and he's just like, you're not. It was so good. It had different context because it wasn't just done in like a random building that she found, but like it once again this change made sense and it hurt more and it was good. And I liked the resolution better, where he was just already there making the he was gonna leave. The horse up, and he was just like, I thought I'd give you a choice. Now you can either go with Tommy, and then she just throws the bag at him, and he's just like, okay.
The conversation that he had with Tommy prior to that too about failing in his dreams.
Oh god, yeah.
Just amplified that whole thing. It was like, holy fuck. Yep. And that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. That's what I was thinking of in this episode, where I was like, it just makes it harder knowing what happens, because it's like, oh my god.
They did the fucking
so bad.
The monkeys and the bandits and the stab scene really good. And I was like, oh fuck. Did we miss the giraffe scene though?
I was wondering the same thing. We don't get to see the giraffe, huh?
It was a very good emotional moment. I get it. It's fine.
Good moment. Good moment.
Fine.
They didn't go through the zoo.
It's okay. He did get stabbed just like, and oh, that was good. I'm excited.
Does he remove it in the game? I can't remember.
I don't remember, probably. I just know that scene was very, oh shit, there's a lot to deal with. Excuse me. The beast is trying to unleash from my gullet. Burps. And
the beast.
The beast wants to be unleashed. Anyway. I saw the preview for the next episode, and I'm both very surprised and also very happy that they're doing it.
I turned it off before the preview. What did you see?
They're doing the what happened with Ellie and her friend.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So let's just always hurt. Always hurt.
from the other
Always
room hear them mention the mall
Mm-hmm.
because it was like running as I was, you know,
Yeah.
up. And so that makes sense.
Mhm.
That's what they were. Oh my god.
Storytelling wise, because in this moment, Joel is just like, you don't know anything about loss. Really fucking good choice to have Joel being weak and on the ground and Ellie having to try to save him and then going back into the black. And it's good. It's good storytelling.
It's very
It's
good.
good television.
It's very good. You know, I was saying, I mean, I've been saying the whole time this show's been on,
Mhm.
but the sets and the like digital, because I mean, you know, that must have been some university somewhere or some sort of structure that they had
Yeah,
to touch up.
Colorado.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They had to touch it up though. They did such a good job touching those buildings up like digitally so that they look damaged. The like actual practical effects are so good. It's like some of the best production design that I've like ever seen on television in my entire life.
I got
It's
caught by the same jump scare in two different forms of media.
what do you mean?
The monkey.
Oh, the monkey.
The monkey in the game jumped me, and then the monkey in the TV jumped me. And what sucks is I knew it was a monkey. I forgot about the monkey until I saw it was the monkey when it happened. I'm like, God,
Like I remember that fucking monkey.
fucking
That room was
chimpanzee.
exactly the same too.
Yeah.
They went into that room and I was like, I remember this room.
That scene where the guys are chasing after him and he gets like stabbed, like that's a fucking scene for scene shot again. They're so good at doing those. They're so good at doing those. That once again, that shouldn't be that hard, but at the same time, it hasn't been done before, so it gets to stand out.
It's pretty fucking impressive.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good
Mm-hmm.
show. We've got a few more episodes left. I
Yeah.
don't know still where we're going to end up. I'm still sort of convinced they're going to end it with the end of the game.
I mean, we might
end it
have
with
the
end of the game.
might have the time. How many episodes are we supposed to have? Because that was episode 6.
I think there are 3 left because there are 9.
So,
But
but here's the thing: we're doing Ellie. Ellie's past. Then we have to do the fucking creepo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess, and then the last episode could be
The Firefly base, and I think they're long. I think they're all over an hour from here on out.
Ooh, baby.
So
When you touch me like that.
I thought it was funny that they ended with a touching cover of Depeche Mode, and the
Yeah.
lyrics were quite literal.
Yeah,
Where
it was very good.
I'm taking a ride
Yeah,
with my best friend.
yeah.
Good episode. Love the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Love the Tommy.
Love the time, dude. They did the reverse where Tommy got to say "adios, big brother" instead of "adios, little brother" when they left the first time in the game. Sorry, that's stupid, and I'm a nerd.
It's okay, Joe.
Okay.
It's okay.
Is there anything else we want to talk about or touch about before we end the episode, Eric?
We could talk about a lot of things, but I think it's about time to get to be hitting the old dusty trail.
Hitting the old dusty trail? Well, then, let's hit the old dusty trail. I guess. I guess what I want to say is a show is mid if it's got more bad seasons than good seasons.
You got dragged.
You
You got dragged, buddy.
I didn't get dragged. I got exactly what I wanted out of that.
I know.
And I am very happy. And I think that's where we should end it. So just know that if 6 out of your 11 seasons aren't that good, you're mid. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.